But I've seen
Hey,
all.
everybody. I just want to come on here real quick. We're coming on early. We're coming on in a different, we're surprise. Luckily, Mark is having a huge day here. I always want to say this to someone. I'm trying to see if I can find it on my page to push it out right away. Here we go. I'm going to share this out to groups. Everything is going to get this. Mark has a huge announcement thus far. The day's not over. Midnight is a long ways away. You have your book that came out today, Capture Your Power. Tell them, Mark, where is it at right now?
So here is the wonderful news. Is right now it is sitting at number 2. We are so close to number 1. We can almost taste it, but it's a bestseller already. So that's the amazing thing.
Yes,
it's a bestseller, and that was really my goal. Was just my hope. Even though hope is not a strategy, but my hope was that it was a bestseller, and it was, and it is, which is pretty amazing.
This is so awesome, because I can tell people I know a best-selling author.
Yeah,
that's the best part of it. Okay, so before we get to that part, we're gonna just keep hitting this about every 5 minutes. Where can they go to buy Capture Your Power, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Certainly, and probably I can shoot you a link also if you can put it in the notes on your side.
Oh yeah.
But they can go to Amazon.com. They can search for my name, Mark Mirkovich, or Capture Your Power in Sales and Business is the official title. They can get it in a soft copy. They can get it as a Kindle, and they can also get it on Apple iBooks if they prefer that platform.
Nice.
So
okay, we're going to get the copy up there. Okay, so let's go into the book. Briefly, your background. You've done it all.
Oh, thank you.
Came from a huge family, survived that. Have a beautiful wife, 2 boys. Life is good, and you all of a sudden decide, I'm going to write a book.
Yeah, I was feeling like I didn't have enough going on. Totally kidding there. But yeah, I was, as you know, I'll just repeat for the audience here. I'm the youngest of 12 kids, born and raised in Southern California, which is not very likely or very routine. And throughout that process, showered with love and affection and lots of engagement, not so much with financial means. So I learned at an early age to work hard and to work for things that I wanted. And that started, with me working my way through my private high school and paying my tuition and into my college years and my 20s and my 30s. And it just had a great career in corporate America, continued to work hard, always had a hang up about not having a college diploma. And got over that and thought, you know what, I'm going to go out there with my life experience and bust my butt and make some stuff happen. And so I'd always kind of thought that success would be this, executive position, and I'd have this token wife and 2 beautiful kids and a dog that listened to every command. We fantasize about all those things. Yeah. And so, I looked up and I had all of those things and more. I have a beautiful partner, my wife, and my 2 kids, and my dog doesn't always listen to my commands, but she's pretty awesome too. And my wife and I run 2 different businesses and a nonprofit, and just had so much stuff to be thankful for. And as I looked at my career, I thought, well, I can totally ride this career with Oracle into the sunset. But what I really, really enjoy doing is working with people and mentoring and guiding and leading and coaching, not just for the fundamentals, not just, hey, this is how you run a business, or this is how you balance a budget, or this is what you're supposed to say to handle an objection, but really to help create the mindset that people can create an outcome that they're happy with, that's worth living, that they get out of bed every day and that they want to go and do something amazing. you know? And so as I was thinking about that, I thought, all right, well, I need to pause, take a step back and redirect, you know, and go in a different path. And so it was really scary to do that, to leave such comfort and such a, you know, such security. But with the help of my wife and support of my network, I started doing that. And through the transition, I've realized that that coaching and helping other people kind of tap into their inner fire, their inner power, so to speak, is really where my passion lies. And so the book project is the first of the Capture Your Power book series. And the first one was How Do You Capture Your Power in Sales and Business? And that was, you know, everything that I've learned as far as how to demystify sales and how to just make it, you know, normal, so that everyday people, entrepreneurs, business people, salespeople, they can pick up this book and they can get pointers and fundamentals of really just how to succeed, because most people don't do the regular blocking and tackling. You know, all the sales teams that I've led and all the people that I've worked with, most don't do just the regular stuff that they're expected to. And so I found that if you put something out there and you give tools to people that can be used easily, you know, so I can pick it up, I can read it, I can use it today. And it's you know, it's things like how to approach your market, you know, how to approach sales, how to form relationships, how to communicate, how to follow up, you know, proper email protocol. When do you use text messages? What kind of technology should I use? When I find a customer that's interested, then what? You know, so I've created this whole sales process. If you can walk somebody through this entire sales process, and the fundamentals are great, but then on top of that, how do you create the right mindset so that you can handle success? Are you continuing to grow? Are you learning? Are you associating yourself with other people who are succeeding? Are you meditating? Are you exercising? Are you having introspective thought? Are you grateful? Are you in service? Or do you have integrity? I mean, these are all things that create the power mind to handle all of the success that you can get in business. And so really, I wanted to put all of this in one book so that anybody really who's in business that's had any kind of perception or misperception of what sales is just seeking agreement. You know, it's talking to you, it's communicating in a respectful manner and finding a way to come to an agreement on something where we both win. You know, that's what sales is in a simplified fashion. And people overcomplicate it all the time, and it's really not that complicated. It's just talking and having a relationship and having value and giving value, you know? Yeah. So that's pretty much how the book came to be. And of course, as I mentioned, the Capture Your Power book series, my plans are to explore other topics also where you can capture your power, you know, things like as a parent, capture your power as a man, as a woman, as a in relationships, you know, as a teenager. I'm about to have my first teenager next year, and we've talked about co-writing a book together as well, so I can help them as they step into this. So, and then of course there'll be a collaborative book series, Capture Your Power Success Stories, where, you know, we'll invite other authors to come in and share their successes, because look, I may think I know a thing or two about a thing or two, but there's so much information and so many incredible stories out there. So I just want to be a facilitator to help spread the word and let people know that at its core, you have the power inside you to create the life you want. You know, so it's just about getting over whatever obstacles that are there, putting a list of goals together, finding a plan of attack, and moving one step at a time. Yeah. It's really not.
And it all starts with a mindset, though. You nailed it before. It really does start with a mindset.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to be prepared for it.
Yep. Exactly. Tell us a little bit, because you've done this. It's not like you're going out there and doing some research and you haven't accomplished any of this. Tell a little bit more about your nonprofit that you have. I think that's just terrific.
Yeah, sure. So my wife was an entertainer and a dancer, a ballerina for many, many years, and a dance teacher. And so she moved out to California to be an actress and taught in and around Los Angeles area. And the thought was for her to take some of her students and start doing musicals. And through the process of doing musicals, she was a real big fan and connected to Jack Canfield as well. And so after she started really studying his work, she wanted to implement kind of growth mindset methodology into performing arts and use the performing arts as a foundation to instill confidence and growth in the kids in our community. And so it was really kind of, theater and the arts is a really interesting dynamic, because if you think back to high school and you think, all right, there's all these little cliques, right? And who always ended up doing the plays? It was kind of like, it wasn't the most popular people. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're kind of outcasts or nerdy, whatever.
Yes,
and I've noticed that there's such a bond between these theater kids, and using arts as a creative outlet for people, not only to learn instruction, because we bring in professionals and we train them on all of the ins and outs of singing, dancing, and acting, and staging, and movement, and blocking, and all of that, which is great. But more importantly, for most who won't do this past high school or even middle school, they learn how to find their voice. They learn how to feel comfortable in their own skin, which for most of us, even as adults, is really challenging, right? And they get tools that they use for the rest of their lives. So
you create that mindset.
Absolutely. So I give all the credit to my wife, and she's, and I came in, I've been supporting her for years as much as I could. When we first started, I would work during the weeks, and then when I wasn't traveling, I would be building sets and running the books and everything else. And now with our nonprofit 10 years later, we have a lot of staff now that works for us. So I still serve as the director of development and a co-founder there, but definitely my wife's baby. And it's so rewarding as well, because we have a whole community outreach program as well. So just 2 months ago, we did a show of Seussical the musical, and we brought in 1,000 at-risk kids from the Boys and Girls Clubs and from homeless shelters all over Southern California to experience theater for the first time. So they walked into this 1,200 seat theater. We had a full orchestra. We gave them concessions. We took care of transportation. We had buses, bring them in and out. We did a Q&A, a talk back with the cast, who were kids as well, up on stage. And so the whole intention was show these kids what's possible. Show them that there's another child there up on stage who is the same age, who through theater has found a means to express themselves. And so, we've even sponsored a number of those kids to be in the cast, and we take care of all the fees, and the community's very involved. So it's such an amazing organization. It's called POPs, or Putting On Productions. It's in Manhattan Beach. And I give all the credit to my wife for creating it, and just feel very fortunate to be a part of that and be able to share, a lot of the coaching that I do and empowerment with that community as well. And they support, my endeavors as well. So it's a win-win kind of symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. Helping them capture their power. Everyone's
got to capture their power.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a musical in there somewhere.
I think so too. We'll come up with something.
Yeah.
It's just incredible how you've taken a lot of that and give your, I know you are throwing a lot of it onto your wife, the accolades and all that too, but a good portion of any relationship is the support you give to each other in that too. And that counts for a whole heck of a lot of mindset.
Yeah.
I'm going to play on mindset quite a bit, because that's usually what holds so many people back from just taking that leap of faith. Right.
And, it's interesting. I was speaking with someone earlier today, and we were talking about getting out of your comfort zone, right? Of having the mindset to take risks. And when someone was asking me about starting with the end in mind, which I talk about in my book, and talking about when you first have a visualization of where you want to be, of where you want to go, you're typically thinking about, the end, right? You're thinking about, let's say you're going on vacation. You're thinking about, I want to end up on the Amalfi Coast in Italy. Well, there's all these other steps to get from here to there, right? That are unknown, are uncertain. And it's the mindset of, I have to keep going and I have to take one step after another, right, to get there. But there's that in between, right? And that in between, I believe that's where courage fills the gaps, right? Courage pushes you from one step to the next. Mm-hmm. It pushes you to get uncomfortable, to get out of your comfort zone. And this applies to so many different things in our lives, right? I mean, if you're going to lose 20 pounds, or you're going to learn how to speak a language, or you're going to, whatever, there's so many steps. I mean, none of it's easy, right? It requires some mental fortitude to make sure that you can continue to go. I ran a marathon when I was 24 years old. This was a lot of years ago, but I speak about this when I do keynotes and such, because it's all about taking action, right? When I heard the gun go off and we were to start, I paused for what seemed like a few minutes, but I was leaning, my body weight, my momentum was starting to go, and I was leaning into it. And all of a sudden, the first step happened, and then another step happened, and then another step happened. And it was hard. There were sometimes I walked. There were sometimes I ran full speed. I may have thrown up a time or two. Who knows? But under 5 hours later, about 5 hours later, I crossed the finish line. Which was, I'll never do it again. But I can say I did it.
Never say never.
Right. Well, I don't know if my knees are going to hold up this time, unless maybe I'll bike it next time. You never know. But the point is that any of those things, like, how do you eat an elephant, right?
Exactly.
One bite at a time. But you got to take a bite and chew it up, and then move on to the next one. Mindset comes in. Yeah.
I have a similar running story. I had I don't think we talked about this last week, but I had a heart valve replaced. So I have a metal heart valve. So if we're really quiet, you'll hear this clicking and you'll think he's got a watch that's really loud, but it's my heart valve. And when I had that, when I was, I think about 47 when I had that put in, and up to that point, I was told not to do anything strenuous, not to do any. And so I got that done. Within probably 3-4 weeks, they cleared me. They're like, everything's good. Because I ate well, I did everything well. I knew I had this heart murmur. I knew it eventually I had to get replaced. So I did all of the good things in preparation for it someday. They were like, what are you going to do? And I go, I'm going to run a 5K. Because I always wanted to run a 5K. Never could, always limited myself. Had the mindset of the doctor that kept telling me, don't do it.
Right.
I took on that mindset, and they were like, oh, maybe you shouldn't set maybe. I said, I'm going to do it in 6 months. And they're like, oh, take your time, ease into it. And I was like, it's a 5K. It's only 3 miles. What could happen? So, I just threw on some shoes and I just started running, and 6 months later, did a 5K. Yes, I was slow as molasses. Yes, I didn't go online at that point and go, how do I prepare for a 5K? I was I just told myself to go run. So I just ran like every other day up until the point, and then I ran the 5K and I did it. But same thing, the gun goes off and you're like, oh, shnikes. Should I do this? Can I do this? Can I do? The doubts kind of creep in a little bit, and then it's like everybody just starts going, and you're like, all right, you just keep going.
Well, it's those limiting beliefs, right? That not only others put on us our whole lives, but then we put them on ourselves, and then we morph them into whatever applies to right now, right? I can't do this because when I was 20, I had that pain in my knee, and I'll have the same pain in my knee again. It's like the story of the baby elephant with the chain, right? I'm sure you're familiar with, right? A baby elephant has a really weak, small chain that goes 6 inches into the ground on their foot when they're young, and they try to pull it out and they can't. And that elephant grows, to multiple tons, and it's the same little chain with the same 6-inch spike when they're adults, but they've conditioned themselves to think that they can't break that chain. There's no way. So, until we recognize those limiting beliefs and then process them and move on from them and really question the validity of them, right?
Right.
Like, why can't I run a 5K? I mean, granted, a doctor is a good resource, but even doctors don't know everything. You know your body, right? And you know what you can and you can't do. So good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And good for you doing a marathon.
Yeah, well, I'll chalk that up. That was on my bucket list, and now it's off of my bucket list. So it's done and done. Done and done.
Well, we'll have to see your bucket list. We'll see what we can make come true.
All right. Okay.
I'm going to guess best-selling author was on that bucket list.
You know, as a matter of fact, best-selling author was on that bucket list, and now I can cross that one off. It may have actually said #1 best-selling author.
Midnight's not here yet.
So I am going to be confident that will happen sometime later today. And I'm just going to continue to think positive. But honestly, if I am so ecstatic right now, it's really surreal when and I told you last week, I've worked 3 years at putting this book together. I set a goal for myself 3 years ago that August 31st of 2016 at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time that I would be done with this book. And then the day before came and I said, oh, crap, I haven't started this book yet because life got in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I going to do? I have no time to get it done. 2 kids and 2 businesses and running a household and trying to be a good husband and maintain relationships, all the rest of the stuff. It's like, when are you going to do this? So I woke up an hour early every day and sat in front of my computer. And the first 2 weeks was horrible because I just caught up on Facebook and Instagram and, watched cat videos and all the rest of the stuff, the dumb stuff. And then I found a groove. And after about 6 months, I finished the first manuscript. And then I found a users group and did some rewrites and got some feedback and edits. And here we are now. It's almost exactly 3 years after my initial goal. And now it's out. So not only to go through that process, but to continue to work at it until it actually manifests into something that's real. And then to put it out for the world and then to get, your efforts applauded and celebrated. It's really an amazing feeling. It's really an amazing feeling.
And you're doing this all on your own. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely found some resources, but I researched everything, and I just, for me, it didn't make sense, or I didn't feel comfortable handing it just over to somebody else to run because it was too close to me. So I just managed the whole process and the project management and the, all the art and the vendors and whatnot. So yeah.
Which a lot of people don't understand is you can sell something to a publisher, but then they hold all the rights. They hold everything. They can scrap it. They can do whatever they want with it. They can rewrite it. They can do all these different things to it. And it is like a part of you. It's like a third child in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have all the control.
They do.
Timelines for, what they do with it, if it's going to release here or there and what format. So, and so much of that, like anything else, then is affected by whatever relationships or contractual obligations they already have at that time. So, so I really felt good about moving forward by myself, and I found some incredible people to work with and support the project. And so it was, it was just great. I'm just so happy with how it turned out.
Yeah. And it's great. It's great. I know you, thank you for spending some time with us because we had to rush this together because of a little mishap in that. And you're going to move on to another. You've been doing this like all day long, this press junket, haven't you? Like from one to the next to next to next.
Yeah. I think this is my maybe fifth or sixth that I've done today. Wow. But look, it's intentional and it's by design, right? Yeah. I mean, I feel flattered that you would actually have me on your platform and others as well. And so grateful and appreciative that you do this, that you make it possible to celebrate what others are doing and to promote them and to help people capture their power.
That's all we can do. Yeah, capture your power. Yeah. So on Amazon, we can probably search your name, or
yeah,
we can.
I sent you the link in Messenger as well that you could probably.
I'll put that on here. And I'm not on Messenger on here, but I'll put it on after. I'll put the link on there, and then go on. Don't wait. Go on Amazon right now. Buy the book. We're gonna get Mark to #1 by midnight.
Yeah, when I
number 2.
Also, if you buy it today, there's a bonus package. But wait, there's more.
Oh wait, there's more.
There's a bonus package you get because I had a whole bunch of people that wanted to support this launch, and so they offered a bunch of stuff. So sales guru Brian Tracy is offering a superstar PowerPoint presentation, which you can get. Xander Fryer has a coaching 7 ways to develop your high-income coaching business. Tiffany Peterson has a coaching and sales document on there. Denise Walsh has a time management module. I have a goal setting workshop, worksheet, paperwork module as well. And it's like over $3,000 worth of material, and you get it all for free if you buy it today. And then go leave a review. And then after you leave the review, send me a copy of your review to Mark at captureyourpower.com. And then I will send you the link to that secret page where you can get all that information.
And the cool thing, if anybody doesn't know this about Amazon, one, you want to rate a book, but that doesn't mean much to Amazon. Reviews mean everything to Amazon.
Yeah.
So whatever you buy, that's why they always bug you with emails after you purchase something and that too. But books are really important. So go on there and then give a review beyond that. So read the first chapter or so. You can read through that pretty easily and get a feel for the book, and then do a review on it. Just pop in a quick review there and then send that off to Mark. That would be the best thing you could ever do.
That would be amazing. And if you want the actual paper copy, the soft copy, you can order that. But then while you're waiting, you might as well pick up the Kindle version. That way you can read it now.
Because then you can read it now, and you can share that Kindle version.
You can have it on multiple devices.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about convenience.
People love to smell that paper. The smell of ink on paper is awesome. So get the Kindle version so you can read it in bed at night. And if you fall asleep, it doesn't matter. Nothing hits you in the head.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So it's all good. So do that.
Well, but all joking aside, you can reach me at my website is captureyourpower.com. And if you want to reach out, there's plenty of ways to engage. I've got all sorts of information on all the stuff that I do, the coaching and consulting and workshops and whatnot. But I'm here to support people. Honestly, I want to help, and I'm at such a point in my life where I want to be of service. So reach out to me. Let's engage and let me know how I can support what you're doing. And I'm all about that.
And it's not one of those things where you go on Messenger and it's not Mark, it's some chat bot or something like that. He will get back to you. So go through the website, email him, set up a time. I'm sure you'll Zoom with people on that too.
Absolutely. Let's make it happen.
He's an awesome person. Well, I'm talking like you're not in the room, which you're in a room. All right. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, I know you got to run because you have another interview to do.
I do at the top of that.
On Jake's page.
Yeah. Thank you so much again for having me. I really appreciate your support.
And again, we're going to get to #1.
Number one
by midnight.
That's right.
All right. Well, take care. Have a great time with Jake and the rest of your evening doing the rest of the interviews that you got set up. Oh, my gosh.
All right. Thank you so much for your help. You guys have a great day. I hope to talk soon.
Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.